Hello, this is Doug Lay with Abishai Tactical Solutions. I hope you're having a good day today. It's a beautiful day here in Western North Carolina, and want to do another video today. And this is going to be the start of a series of videos that I hope to do on concealed carry basics or fundamentals of concealed carry. I'm in my classroom where we teach concealed carry, both North Carolina as well as other states. But oftentimes we have students, they come to the class, they spend 8 hours, they learn the fundamentals of firearm safety, the fundamentals of shooting, they learn about the laws related to use of deadly force. They leave the class, they get their concealed carry permit, and oftentimes they don't do any further training. And maybe they'll go to the range, once a month or if that, and shoot a little bit at some paper targets. But those skills that they're exposed to in the class, they quickly lose those skills. And so I thought maybe this would be something that would help those who, if you've gotten your concealed carry permit and maybe those skills that you learned, you're a little bit fuzzy about those, you need a refresher. Hopefully this will be a help to you. And what we're going to do is just a short video, and each video will concentrate on one fundamental of shooting or firearm safety. So I want to begin with the grip. First off, this firearm is safe. You notice that's empty. We never say the gun is empty because the very first rule of firearm safety says all guns are loaded. So we always treat every gun as if it's loaded. And we'll cover the 4 rules of firearm safety in another video. But you see, check that visibly, inspect it physically. This firearm is now safe. So let's talk about the grip. The proper two-handed grip. First off, I'm going to take my gun hand and I'm going to grip the firearm with the web of my hand up high in that beaver tail, just like that. Now, why do we do that? Why do we come up high like that? If you hold the firearm down here, when that gun fires around, what happens is, you talk about recoil. Those gases from that round being fired expand in that barrel. They drive the slide back. And that slide is driven back with a great deal of force. So if you're holding the gun down here, the force of that slide coming back is going to create some leverage. It's going to push that firearm backwards like this. And wherever your hand is, that becomes a fulcrum. So basic physics, if your hand is down here, that force is going to drive that gun back, and you're going to pivot on that fulcrum. You're going to get a lot of muzzle flip. You don't have control. You bring your gun hand up high into that beaver tail. Now you're much more in alignment, and your arm is much more in alignment with that slide and that barrel. So when the slide comes back with that force, you don't get the same muzzle flip. You're able to control it and get back on target much faster. And that's important. Now, you'll notice this is a Glock 19. The design of the Glock, and this is one of the reasons I like Glocks, is such that your hand is very close to the bore of that barrel and slide. That's not true of a lot of other guns. If you compare this to the Smith & Wessons, the Springfield XDs, the SIGs, H&Ks, there's a lot of good guns. There's nothing wrong with those guns, but they don't put your hand quite as, and it's a minimal difference, but every little bit counts, and it's an important difference. And so I think it's a good design with the Glock, and that's one of the reasons I like Glock. So let's talk about the grip. Two-handed grip. We establish the grip with our gun hand, web of the hand up high, again, 3 fingers on the front strap of the firearm, trigger finger outside the trigger guard. Remember, third rule of firearm safety, keep your finger off the trigger so the eyes are on the target and you're ready to shoot. So there's your single-handed grip. We're going to put our thumb up high to make room for our offhand. Now we're going to take our offhand, and just as if we were shaking hands with someone, I'm reaching out to shake hands with you. I'm going to take that hand, I'm going to tilt that thumb forward so that I'm aligning the thumb with my arm and my wrist, and I'm actually pointing that thumb towards the target or towards the threat. Now I'm going to bring that other hand up here, my thumb is going to align along the frame of the gun just below the slide, and my gun hand thumb is going to stack on top of my offhand. So there's the two-handed grip. All 4 fingers on this hand over my other 3 fingers on my gun hand on the front strap of the firearm. Not down here like this, but up high. It's almost as if your 2 hands are becoming one, just like a golf grip if you've ever played golf. And so, again, gun hand, web of the hand up high on the grip, 3 fingers on the front strap, again up high against the trigger guard, not down like this, no gap here. We don't want a gap there. We're going to come up high against that trigger guard. Trigger finger is outside, off the trigger, alongside the slide. We're going to stick that thumb straight up. Bring this hand as if we're going to shake hands. We're going to tilt it forward so the thumb is pointing towards the target or the threat. We're bringing it up now against the side of the frame below the slide, the 2 thumbs stacked. Now we've got that proper 2-handed grip. Now what we can do from the high ready position, we can drive that gun straight out, and you'll notice I'm driving my thumbs out towards the target, and I'm going to actually use my thumbs to just point at the target or the threat. This gives you a very solid, stable grip on the firearm. Also, using that proper form with that proper grip, when you align with the target or the threat, and you push that straight out and drive those thumbs out, you're going to naturally line up on the target for that shot. So that grip is going to help you with your shooting. Now think about this. With a handgun, you have one interface to the weapon. That's the grip. A rifle gives you actually 4 interfaces to the weapon. So you've got the grip hand, you've got your offhand on the forearm, you've got that buttstock coming in against your shoulder, and then you've got your cheek down on the comb of the rifle. So with the rifle, 4 interfaces to the firearm, making it much more stable and easier to control. Not quite as easy to control with a handgun, so it's important that you establish proper 2-handed grip, just as we described. Remember that thumb tilts out, pointed towards the target, comes up straight along that frame. Practice this grip. It'll be awkward at first, but if you get comfortable with it, learn to use it, it'll make you a better shooter. So I hope that's been helpful to you. We'll do some more videos like this on the fundamentals and the basics. Leave us some comments. And as always, we want you to remember, God loves you. He loved you enough that he sent his son to die on a cross that you can be redeemed. We hope you remember that, and remember, be safe out there.